On this day of May the 1st, 1939, I reach out to you, William Vincent Neisius, wherever you may be when you again hear this play. Perhaps you hear me while still at the bottom of life's ladder, but I hope you at least own the phonograph that's playing this. Let this always be the test. If you can hear this and be reminded of ideals, ambitions, and hopes which you once held without feeling sorry because there's so little time in life, if you can face the dreams I now dream and say wonderful dreams, if you are still sensitive to the laughable side of minor disappointments, if you can face each tomorrow as a new adventure, then you have retained and developed an ability which will soften hardships and disappointments, not only for yourself but for others as well. The child is father of the man, a great poet once said. So I can speak to you today as father to son. You know, you have the advantage of me. You can recall my thoughts and ideals, but I have no way of knowing what you are. The man that you have become will never differ greatly from the student of today. Perhaps you shall spend the rest of my life attempting to destroy the faults I have willed to you, and striving to add new virtues to our meager collection. Develop the few talents you have, and don't attempt to add new ones. Do the thing your impulse tells you to, but never let me down. Always realize the immortality of the fundamental germs of happiness which have been planted in our soul. Remember, it was Wordsworth who said, "My heart leaps up when I behold a rainbow in the sky. So was it when my life began. So is it now I am a man. So be it when I shall grow old or let me die. The child is father of the man, and I could wish my days to be bound each to each by natural piety." The subject of my talk today is, do married men make the best husbands? I feel that I'm in an excellent position to talk on the matter, having been fished up from the sea of bachelorhood twice and thrown back once. But I should complain. I've been married 3 years, and it doesn't seem a day over 10. I shall never forget the day we met. It was one of those seashore affairs. I was introduced to her by a scoundrel to whom I owed $5, and he took this way of paying me back. One day she swam out just a little bit too far, and, well, I don't want to pose as a hero, but I immediately dashed in, and with strong, powerful strokes soon reached her side. Yes, sir, if it hadn't been for the lifeguard, we would both have drowned. Well, since I was out of work anyway, I decided to marry this lovely bit of femininity. So one day I put on my best suit, the one with the turkey gravy stains, and headed for the house of my beloved. She came to the door, and I stood there with my voice choking with love, emotion, and beer, and said, "Kitten, will you be mine?" And she said, "Yes, I don't care what becomes of me." Then I said, "Shall we go to your mother and father?" And she said, "It won't be necessary. They're planning on living with us." So we were joined in the holy bunk of matrimony. We really were quite happy, though. She loved me because I was so good to her. Well, I remember one night before we were married, I spent $1.50 on her freely. I would have spent more, but that was all she had. Only the other night, while we were sitting in the park under the full moon, I held her hands for 2 hours. If I had let go, she would have killed me. Now, don't get me wrong. I would be the last person in the world to say anything against marriage if I thought my wife would hear about it. That happened once before. But I replaced the broken furniture, and I tell casual acquaintances I got these scars in the wall. It's not a lie at that. I think the world of my wife. She is so very thoughtful. Well, only the other day she insisted on my taking out $5,000 more insurance in her name. Now, wasn't that sweet of her to consider my welfare that way? And only a few minutes ago she fixed me a nice cup of hot coffee to steady my nerves. She was especially sweet to me this morning when she... I got a funny feeling in the pit of my stomach. stuff and poison.